got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of the Tuesday Panic, and you might be getting this a little bit early because I'm going to be at youth camp next week, which I'm sure will be exciting, and I'm not going to get any sleep, and so pray for me, okay? Hey, listen, I had a few other subscribers that I missed in my last shout out, and a few new subscribers, so let me just offer a thank you to Stephen Adcock, Carly Ann, and 180 Youth. Thank you for being subscribers here to the Real Time Training channel and to what I'm doing, to the Tuesday Panic and all that kind of cool stuff. So thank you for being here. It's kind of a slow news week this past week, and so I thought I'd share just a few ideas on how to use a very basic, simple illustration that has multiple uses to it. This past week I talked about finding direction with God, how to know what He's asking you to do, and I in my head, in my mind, I had these pictures of arrows everywhere. Now, I wasn't able to pull off the big arrows everywhere. Now, you might be able to do it. But basically, I made these big arrows, and they're just, I spray painted them. I just put some tape and spray painted them on there. And I have 4 of them here, as you can see. And so what I did was, in the first part, in talking about the direction with God, here's one way you can use this. I turned it into a game. We're doing points. We're doing this thing called tribes with our group and things like that. So we're playing games and camp style stuff every week. So basically, I took the role of having one of these and I hit it to my chest like that so they couldn't see it. And I gave 3 students the other arrows. And I said, I want you to guess which way my arrow is facing. And so I would take this and I would flip it around and do some other stuff. And then, of course, when I said reveal, they would have to reveal which way they thought their arrow, which way they thought I was holding my arrow. And so we did it about 3 or 4 or 5 times. And then I asked them, and this is how I led into the message. I said, look, are you always asking or wondering which way God is leading you? Do you feel like you're trying to get your arrow lined up with God's arrow? And do you ever feel like God is just being mean and He's just changing His arrow every 5 seconds to where your arrow doesn't match His? And of course I got a few nods and things like that. And so one way obviously using that is just start off with a game and use that as your lead in. But there's several other ways you can use it. Obviously I could take it and I could put these arrows and just put them on the floor, like this. I could take those and glue them all over not glue them, but tape them or whatever. And so I got them all over the floor here, and I can, I could map them out if I just wanted to do this. I could do a directional thing, just throw them on the ground like that. So you got a few arrows laying all over the place, and then you got one that, if you want to, you can turn it, and it goes around the corner here, things like that. Let's get another one here, and we'll kind of focus in on that. Excuse me, we're going all crazy with the camera here. But here you go. You got something like this, where you have these arrows where kids can follow all over your room. It can go in different directions, but a sign could be. Now, one of the things I talked about was talk about directions and finding directions with God, and I talked about being able to find greatness. What does it take to find greatness? And in the midst of these, I had kids line up with these, the same kids who were holding them and doing the guessing. I also had the cross up there, and so what I saw with the cross is, I talked about the fact that all true greatness goes through the cross. That on your way to greatness, you've got to take the cross with you and be a follower of Jesus. So you could take these. Let me just kind of pick one of these up here. You could take them and put them on the walls, okay, like that. And you could have a sign that says, which way to greatness. You can have it used. There's a ton of uses. You could use north, south, east, west. You could put them up all over the room and put them where kids are following, and you can have your different points for your message all over the room where kids must follow. It could be a maze. It could be anything. So there's just a ton of uses you could use for just for nothing, for cardboard and paint, to be able to go ahead and get your kids intrigued about the message you're going to share tonight. So I hope that you're going to have a great meeting this coming Wednesday night. Once again, pray for me. I'll be at youth camp. But thank you for stopping by. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. If you have a comment or a way that you've used these, or just give me your ideas, well, maybe something sparked inside your brain. How would you use these arrows in your youth ministry? Or maybe some scriptures. Of course, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Acknowledge the Lord in all your ways, and He will direct your paths. That's one of the verses we use. But thank you for stopping by today. Don't forget to do all of the stuff I told you to do. And we'll see you next time on the Tuesday Panic. I'm your host, Paul Turner. See you next time.